If you really want to understand the Trump administration and what Donald is up to, how he thinks of himself as president, all you have to do is realize that for Donald Trump, it's all a show. You know, he views the White House as a soundstage, you know, like the fake boardroom that NBC created for the Apprentice. He sees the people around him as a supporting cast who can be easily and quickly replaced if they don't, you know, perform well enough. And partly this is because this is all he knows how to do. He was a terribly incompetent businessman. He pissed away his father's entire fortune on a series of businesses that he ran into the ground one after the other. Trump steaks, water, board game, Taj Mahal, castle, vodka, mortgage, magazine, ties, cologne, vitamins, ice, suits, homes, financial, Trump Institute, Trump New Media, Shuttle Airline, Plaza Hotel, Trump University, New Jersey Generals, Tour de Trump, Trump Mag. Every single one failed, often spectacularly. The only real success Donald Trump has had his whole entire life was before he entered politics, was the Apprentice program, which Mark Burnett carefully staged and choreographed, and NBC carried and promoted, and General Electric invested in by paying for Donald Trump's acting lessons. It succeeded because Donald had no control over it. He just showed up and did what the show's writers and Burnett told him to do. And, you know, also running the White House like a reality show or a game show also fits in with his personality and his psychopathy. As a sociopath or a psychopath, as both Bandy Lee and Dr. Justin Frank have mentioned on this program, his brain was already wired to view other people as mere props in the grand play of his life. You know, people with his affliction have little ability to empathize with others or even to recognize other people as fully human. It's why he was so absent from parenting his own kids, why he serially cheated on each one of his 3 wives, why he uses people up and discards them and has done so his entire life. It's why he bonded so tightly with that psychopath Roy Cohn, who delighted in sending an innocent Ethel Rosenberg to the electric chair just for his own entertainment. It explains why he'd sent an innocent man to a horrible prison in El Salvador and then refused to bring him back. You know, not admitting a mistake is more important to his narcissistic ego than doing the right thing. I mean, he literally does not have the ability to understand or even imagine the terror that Mr. Garcia, his wife, and his 2 children, or 3 children, including his nonverbal autistic son, must be feeling. Running the White House as a reality show also explains Trump's casting for his cabinet. He's repeatedly said that he wants people who are telegenic. His cabinet officers get it. They realize that their job is to perform. Yesterday, you had this pathetic cabinet meeting. Well, it was really a show, you know, produced by Donald Trump, where, you know, he went around the room and each one of them said, "Oh, Donald, you're so brilliant. We love you so much. You've done such good things for this country. Thank God you're our president." And he expects his cabinet office, you know, Biden expected his cabinet officers to show up to work every day, to run their agencies for the benefit of the American public. Trump doesn't care about that. Trump wants his cabinet officers to put on performances. That's why you see Kristi Noem in a tight top or an ICE uniform pointing big guns and showing off her hair extensions and $60,000 Rolex watch to El Salvadoran prisoners. Bob Kennedy going to funerals and entertaining conspiracy nuts. Pam Bondi appearing on Fox News with a little gold cross so often that, you know, they should pay her a salary. Ditto for Carolyn Levitt. I mean, once you understand this, you understand how and why Donald Trump is running the White House, that it's all just a performance in his mind. You also understand that that's why he's such a threat to world peace. This is a guy who doesn't appear to even maintain a driver's license. Can you imagine Donald Trump standing in line at the DMV? He grew up in a 23-room mansion filled with servants, silk, and gilt. He has no understanding of the lives and struggles of everyday citizens. It also explains why he's just fine with billionaire-funded Republican legislators, many of them also psychopaths, gutting Medicaid, defunding public schools, denying the climate crisis, worsening student debt, privatizing Medicare, and refusing to pay for food banks and school lunches. Not to mention his right-hand billionaire, Elon Musk, condemning millions of people across the planet to horrible deaths from HIV and tuberculosis by destroying USAID, while he's crippling Social Security and firing hundreds of thousands of federal workers who now have to figure out how they're going to pay their mortgage and put their kids through school. But the biggest danger is his constant craving for bigger, more spectacular, better ratings. He wants the adulation and the eyeballs, like throughout his entire life, and he doesn't care who it hurts. And for that, he's climbed up on the world stage in the past 2 weeks. He's declared a spectacular trade war against China, the world's second largest economy and the world's second largest military, soon to be larger than ours. 15% of China's GDP is tied up in the United States. But that country is going through a crash right now. They've got a housing bubble. They're experiencing deflation. They have an internal debt crisis. Backing President Xi into a corner like Trump is doing is insanely reckless. Add drama to the show and increases ratings. It could also, though, lead to World War III. And China has a larger army, a larger navy, and a nuclear stockpile that could wipe out America a dozen times over. Plus, they built this really strong alliance with Russia. I mean, this could be like World War II all over again, except this time Russia's not our ally and Europe doesn't want to get involved. It's tempting to just sit back and watch the Trump show, but it's coming for us. Every single one of us. Not one of us is going to emerge in this unscathed.